All right, episode 6. So, this episode, I want to be direct about something before we start. This episode is not about AI being a magic bullet. It's not about replacing your judgment or your relationships. The AI tools we're going to talk about today do really primarily one thing. They replace the 3 hours of admin, research, note taking, follow up, strategy, MEDDPICC that were previously preventing you from, I would argue, using the skills that you already have. So, we're going to talk about 7 workflows. Every one of them is something that you can start using this week. And I will say, this is probably going to end up turning into its own series, depending on how much you guys like this stuff. But let's one thing at a time. Okay. Let's start with an honest number from our own team. So 5 out of 7 ADs record their calls, but they never go back to review them. And that's not a judgment from my end. It's really just a diagnostic because, as you've probably heard me talk about, recording your calls and getting the transcript gold can unlock a ton of value. So, what's sitting in these recordings isn't just a log of what happened, it's free coaching, it's free MEDDPICC gap analysis, it's free follow up email drafts. The transcript's already there. The AI analysis takes 30 seconds and it's only getting faster. So this episode is going to cover 7 AI workflows that turn your existing tools, SalesLoft, ChatGPT, Claude, your voice app, essentially into a system that multiplies your output without adding hours to your day. So let's jump in. Workflow number 1, the one that's going to change everything, just start recording. It is status quo to record calls these days. If anybody's uncomfortable with it, they can tell you, you can turn it off, but most people aren't, and you just need to do it. Step 2, once you have the contextual gold, that's where everything becomes unlocked. You can analyze, you can upload the transcript to your AI of choice. You can run the MEDDPICC scoring prompt. You can get a green, yellow, red on every element of the framework. And for every red, the AI could even tell you the specific question that you should have asked that you didn't. It's just a huge opportunity to take advantage of the most customized coaching of our generation. It takes less than 30 seconds, and you don't have to wait for a manager help you. I just can't stress it enough. Step 3, take action. The AI is beautiful at creating follow-up emails based on the actual conversation. It can reference specific moments. It can advance your weakest MEDDPICC elements without sounding like a checklist. And it goes out within the hour, not 3 days later when the prospect has moved on. I use this obsessively. I almost can do it so fast now that I have to schedule my email so it doesn't look so obvious that I leveraged AI to just turbocharge my productivity. It is amazing. Once you start using this, you will never go back. Every call will become a coaching session. You don't need anyone's calendar to open up. Okay, let's have some fun with this. So 5 prompts, 2 minutes after every call. So, what questions did you miss? Where did you leave pain on the table? MEDDPICC score. Green, yellow, red on every element. Follow-ups. Build a complete draft email that references specific moments from the conversation and it advances my weakest elements. Coach me. I use this all the time, by the way, guys, from a leadership standpoint. I pump in our one-on-ones, I pump in our team meetings, and I say, hey, what could I have done better as a leader? Am I leading these people the right way? What am I missing? Am I building the right rapport? Am I being direct enough? Is there ways that I could be more concise and more articulate? It is amazing. It will create so much professional development for you. And the irony is like, you used to have to pay thousands of dollars to get executive coaching. Now you got it literally in the palm of your hand or in front of you on a desktop. And then champion test. Look, am I talking to the right person? Is this a champion or just a coach? If you don't know, like some of these gaps, ask AI, and AI can help you uncover the real answer as long as you have actual transcript. So 2 minutes after every call, that's the system. Start running it and start reporting back. Workflow number 3, and this one is a habit, not just a tool. Like I really want to focus on building the habit here. After every meeting, you really have this kind of like 90-second window where the details are vivid and fresh. By the time you get back to your desk, you open Salesforce, half of it's gone. Speaking is 3 times faster than typing. A lot of the times we don't have the ability to do a Teams call, record it. We're going to be pushing for a lot of in-person meetings. So look, you can try and record an in-person meeting on your iPhone. There's pros and cons, right? One is you definitely don't want people to see you recording a conversation without their permission. 2 is I just don't think it's necessary. Take good notes, be present. And here's the key. The second you walk out of that meeting, you open your voice app. You can do it on ChatGPT, or I'm a personal fan of just using the voice recorder on the iPhone because it automatically transcribes it. So you open that thing up and you just stream of consciousness into the thing. It's like, here's what we talked about. Here's what's top of mind. If you've got a business partner with you, do it together. Like literally put the speaker phone or put the phone out on speaker. You guys, go outside and find a coffee shop, push record, and you guys start riffing together. Michelle, what did I miss? Michelle can pipe in, take that transcription, and then move it back into the workflow that we just talked about. Upload the transcript, get the summary, get the green, yellow, red scorecard, formate the forecast notes. I mean, guys, when you start doing this, you will see how amazing AI is. You're just scratching the surface right now. Most people aren't thinking about this becoming literally a deal analyst that sits in your pocket. I love it. I get excited about it. If you couldn't tell, start doing it. Step 3, during your 4 to 5 p.m. admin block, because we talked about blocking our calendar, you can leverage all of this transcription data to help you do the admin stuff. Upload all of the transcription from your calls and be like, hey, can you help me update forecast notes for these 10 deals that I've had conversations with throughout the day? And you upload that forecast note template that I sent to you guys. Bop, 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 bop. It hammers it out. All you got to do is copy paste because unfortunately we don't have integration with Salesforce. But this is like, it will turbocharge so much of the frustrating components of our job. Okay, 3 more workflows: before, during, and after. Before the call, during travel, and after conversation. So, workflow number 4, AI role play. Guys, I can't tell you how much value this can unlock. I did this while I was interviewing for the RVP position. I said, hey, I'm going to be meeting with Jamie. I'm going to be meeting with Gianna. Here's their LinkedIn profile. Here's kind of their personality type. What should I be prepared for? What questions are they likely to ask? What are some challenging questions that they're going to ask? How can I be prepared? And it is so beautiful. So you can do this for your deals as well. So before any high stakes renewal, executive meeting, ask AI to play a skeptical EB. Give it the context, a budget pressure, a competitor demo that went well, low internal adoption, practice your responses, then ask it to score your performance. You get unlimited practice reps. There's no scheduling required. You can literally do it whenever you want. You walk in having already rehearsed the hardest version of the conversation. It is amazing how effective this is. Workflow number 5, regional dossiers. You've probably seen me do some of this, the Seattle kind of dinner playbook where everyone's like, wow, how did you do all of that? I just provided the context and let AI do the formatting, the build out, the enhancement. So before a regional sweep, prompt AI to essentially build a 1-page brief on every account within 15 miles of your anchor. So news, leadership changes, a custom opening line, MEDDPICC pre-assessment. Which elements can you pre-populate from public information before you even walk in the door? Workflow number 6, auto follow-up drafting. We talked about that already. You upload your transcript, 1 prompt, done. Follow-up references, specific moments, proposes clear next steps, advances your weakest elements within the hour, not just 3 days when a prospect has mentally moved on. I used to hate follow-up after meetings, especially after like an in-person bonanza. You like come home, you land, you're exhausted, you've been drinking with the customers. It's like, oh, I got to get all my follow-up done. Dude, follow-up is done an hour after I have a conversation, and I literally just schedule it and execute. Workflow 7 is probably the one that turns your Friday retrospective from a 5-minute gut check into a data-driven territory rebalancing. So every Friday, I would paste your top 10 deals into ChatGPT, include their current MEDDPICC scores, and just start asking questions like, hey, chat, which deals have the most red elements? Which deals am I over investing time in relative to their qualification level? Where should I reallocate my sacred selling block hours next week? I got to be honest, guys, the data that you get back will be eye-opening. So, it's literally going to help you rank your deals, by deal health, not your instinct. It's pragmatic, it's objective. It takes all of your subjectivity and your emotions out of it. It's not your optimism. It's not the deals where you have the best relationships. The deals that are actually qualified, the ones where you're going to be, wasting hours on low probability opportunity, essentially will get flagged before they cost you all of this time and eventually your quarter. So the biggest thing I could say is a CEO reviews their portfolio weekly. This is how you do it in 5 minutes. Look, in closing, there's so much more we can talk about, and we will continue to talk about exploiting AI within our day-to-day workflow. But the thing that I really want you to take away is AI doesn't replace your selling skills. It replaces the burden of the administrative piece of this job that gets in the way of you selling. It replaces the research, the note-taking, everything that is preventing you from selling. It can replace, optimize, turbocharge. So 3 things this week. Upload one transcript, run the MEDDPICC prompt, use voice intelligence after your next in-person meeting, and on Friday, paste your top 10 transcripts into chat and run the audit. And I want to hear what sort of insight comes out of that. All right. Episode 7, our last episode, is going to be the daily OS and energy protocol. We'll talk about flow states, neurochemistry, and what it actually means to run every day like a CEO. Links are below. I'll see you there. What the